abashed by your knowledge. You need to understand here something geopolitical is going on. It's very serious. Adani Power, Sushant, exports power to Dhaka from a dedicated 1,600 megawatt Godda plant in Jharkhand. Okay, it has reduced supply this month to 700 megawatt from 1,400 to 500 megawatt. Then they further reduced it to 520 megawatt. Bangladesh panics, says, what the hell, we're going to go dark. We'll collapse, our industries will collapse. Yunus has just taken over, we're finished. Bangladesh dials Delhi, MEA, please help us. MEA says, buzz off, we can't help you. Do your deal. Adani says, I'm not helping you, I'll help you bit by bit. The Americans come in, they look for levers. The Americans love levers. They have no levers. They have one exposed lever in a company called Adani that is raising money in the American market. Timing for Adani is very bad. It happens before this offer is going public, right? They pull the lever. You know, that's the way the Americans do business. And then in the early morning, Rahul Gandhi gets up from bed and says, arrest Adani. I mean, Sushant Sareen, what's at play here? What's at play here?
Arnab, I think there are a couple of things that play out here. One, on this entire, all the allegations which are being made against Mr. Adani,
Ajay Bagga back.
I think there's no harm if somebody in the government looks at it, simply because if indeed, and I think most of these allegations, and I'll come to that in just a minute, if somebody is paying a bribe of $250 million to somebody else to get a contract approved, then you and I are going to be paying that money. Nobody is going to give that money as a bribe out of his own pocket. So in the interest of the Indian consumer who's going to be buying electricity, some kind of an investigation certainly needs to be done. But on the specific charge, one, by a grand jury, simply because the way the evidence has been procured, and as Abhishek has very correctly told you, has been done illegally. For evidence to be admissible before a jury, it has to be procured legally.
That's so true.
So clearly, in this particular case, it was not procured legally.
Not necessary. Absolutely no, not necessary.
I will keep quiet.
Not necessary.
I will keep quiet. You have been
necessary.
interrupting everybody. You want to rebut me, you rebut me after I've said. Otherwise, I'll keep quiet.
No, sir, you can't really give a wrong information.
Don't do that, Tanveer.
It has to be proper evidence.
Tanveer, let him complete his point. You know, he has actually come into the debate at 8:37 p.m. Did he speak while you spoke? No. Come on, let him complete his point, Tanveer. It doesn't add to it. Please, we are all listening very keenly to everyone.
Up his bonnet because
not necessary is the point. I'm going to keep quiet. It is not necessary.
He has a bee up his bonnet, that's true.
Say whatever you want to say. Finish, then I'll come.
No, you complete. He won't finish. You continue, Sushant.
Okay, so I'm hoping that nobody will interrupt me.
Mr. Sushant, I corrected you that it not necessary.
Oh God, now.
Yeah.
Correct me. Give me a legal lecture, please. I'm waiting for it from you.
No, Sushant, you carry on. Don't get provoked. That's Tanveer's style. Please continue.
They are unnecessarily,
I know it is. No, I know it is. I know him, but continue. Continue. We all have to have thick skin. Please continue.
Voice so much, start a podcast of your own and keep airing your thoughts here. Everybody.
That's a good idea. Yes.
So here is the thing. So this is it's a grand jury, this thing. Even if you read the indictment papers, it very clearly says allegations. Now, when you juxtapose this indictment, the indictment in this particular case, incidentally, the Department of Justice in the United States has been weaponized both internally and now it seems externally. There are a lot of questions being raised about how the Department of Justice has been functioning under the Biden administration and whether Mr. Biden was even aware of what the hell's happening under his watch. Nobody really knows anymore. In any case, he's a lame duck. So these guys are running riot. But the thing is that if you juxtapose these indictments, they are saying allegations. There is no evidence. But what they are saying is that they have some screenshots or some interceptions of Mr. Adani's nephew's phone, which has some PowerPoint presentations and I think some documents or some Excel sheets, which have the bribes listed out. Now, clearly, if they procured that evidence in an illegal manner, I don't know whether it will stand before a jury or not, because evidence has to be legally procured. It cannot be procured illegally. Having said that, on the whole Bangladesh question, the one thing which came to my mind immediately as soon as I read in the morning about these allegations was that old clip of George Soros when the first Hindenburg report came out, where he says, well, Adani is now being targeted and hopefully this will bring down Modi.
Yeah.
Basically, it means that you're targeting Adani essentially to get at Modi. One,
True.
because there is this perception that Modi is in power because of Adani and his money, and clearly people very closely aligned to this bunch of people in the Democratic mafia in the United States seem to be plugging this line. Secondly, on this whole Bangladesh question, the thing is that just the way the Kenyans have said that we are cancelling this contract, I'm sure the Bangladesh power purchasing contracts would also be governed by certain arbitration clauses, right? Arbitration courts in case of a dispute. But in those arbitration courts, if, for example, Mr. Adani was to take the government of Bangladesh to an arbitration court and put them through the cleaners on that particular case, the Bangladeshis can always argue that, well, there were certain bribes that were exchanged, etc., etc. So the government now is not liable to pay Mr. Adani a dime. If they have to go without power after that, that is their problem. But
If corruption is
they
the
can
issue.
redeem
No.